guys. I'm glad the time I think you joined us. Today, we are joined by Dr. Andres Jimenez, who is a professor of history at the University of Memphis. He will be speaking on sources of wealthy activists. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jimenez.
Thank you very much for coming here. I didn't expect such a big audience. Organizers told me it would be some small student society, but I'm glad to have all of you here.
A few things about
myself and how I came to this topic, studying this topic. So I did my first PhD in Leningrad, St. Petersburg, right now. Former Soviet, Russian. My first degree was in world history. Then I came here in 1991, and I did my second PhD degree, not far from here actually, University of Toledo, Ohio. Everybody knows. It's an obscure town right now, but used to be a very famous industrial city.
Okay, so I did my PhD degree there.
Then I found a job in Alabama State University, and taught there for 12 years. Since 2008, I've been with the University of Memphis, and here I am. And plus I also associate with Mises Institute. Mises Institute, a libertarian think tank in Auburn, Alabama. Okay.
So that's about my credentials.
Second thing, what did I do and what I'm doing right now? Originally I was asked by the student organizer, and I appreciate again all the student organizers who contributed to bringing me here, and also those faculty who recommended me to the students. Thank you so much. Originally, the plan was to talk about my book. Okay.
And as it always happens, I was thinking about this talk, and I forgot to read my book,
which I left in my hotel. But it's no big deal.
I
published a book about socialism as a secular creed.
Socialism as a secular creed.
That's my most recent book.
Could be found on Amazon, published by I forgot the name of the Roman and Little. Anyway,
originally I started, believe it or not, I studied Native Americans in Greek Orthodox Church.
Yes,
it's an obscure, bizarre, strange topic. Alaska was a Russian colony at some point, and I was researching Native Americans and how they responded to Russian Orthodox Church. And their response was mostly negative.
But I
found out that when Alaska became an American territory, some Native Americans started flock to Russian Orthodox Church for some reason. And the topic of my dissertation was to find out why it happened. I have my answer. It was published in two books. And briefly, it was superficial interest in the ceremonial church, like Catholic Church, because they didn't impose the book. That is why I needed this church, ritual. It's one sentence. But when I was doing this research, I was exposed from time to time to groups of people, Americans, WASPs, basically, who were so keenly interested in tribal culture, non-Western culture. And eventually my interest switched to studying these people. Two of my other book publications were dealing with these so-called New Age people who were romanticizing, idealizing Native American tribal people and Buddhist people and non-Western cultures in general. And that's where my present interest in socialism came from. I noticed that these people literally hated Western civilization. And I started asking myself, why do they hate their own civilization? So what's going on for their minds? And the more I researched this, the more I realized that it's some peculiar part of the Western culture in the present moment that forces people to hate their own culture. And I started to read, as I explained to students, we just had dinner, and I explained to my students that much of this interest in what I'm doing right now, researching the left thought collective, so-called woke, goes back to this stage. What drives people to hate Western civilization? Okay.
So, eventually I became interested in researching leftist culture as a historian of religion. And that's how I approached it. It was not surprising approach because before I came with my angle, a lot of other scholars trying to look at the left collective, so-called leftist Marxists from this viewpoint. Arguing that leftism is basically a different brand of leftism, especially Marxism. It's a sort of surrogate religion that came to feel the role of religion in modern time when conventional church denominations were more or less displaced or partially displaced. And that's the argument I'm making in my book, which you may find on Amazon.com. Original plan was to talk about the book, but I decided not to talk about it. You can go there and you can read this. Briefly. You can read last two chapters of my book, which deal with the emergence of the so-called woke. What I'm planning to do instead of recycling my book, I want to take you further. I want us to explore the questions which I did not answer in my book. And that's the introduction. What I didn't answer in my book, look at these three bullet points. Look at the first bullet point. I did cover the first topic. Intellectual sources, academic crisis, Marxism, Marxism, Frankfurt's New Left, critical race theory. I have two chapters, and I will briefly talk about this as well, in order to put everything in context. But at the end, when I was done with my book, I asked myself, okay, this phenomenon, woke phenomenon, and everybody knows what the woke is, right? If you still don't know, raise the hand. Because I realize I don't want to insult your intelligence. You educate people. But I realize that from my experience that some academics don't know this. Because they live in certain bubbles. Okay? For instance, once I submitted an article in a conventional journal, religious studies journal, and the people were literally puzzled. What are you talking about? You have to provide us examples of the work. So that is why I had to include examples to show what it means. But anyway, the more I looked at this first theme or topic, the more I realized something should be bigger here. Because what happened for the past 4 or 5 years, literally in time of America plus UK, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, Norway, they were swept away by this woke movement. I realized that there was something bigger than academia. Although I read some people who research so-called woke, they call it academic religion. There's a philosopher in France who actually uses this expression, and I agree with him to some extent. Because what today we call the woke was familiar to us, maybe in less extreme forms. Everybody heard about political correctness this year, right? That's what we used to say when we wanted to talk about so-called woke. They would call it woke. Some academics, especially academics of conservative leanings or libertarianism, they use the expression cultural Marxism, and I'm the one who used this expression, cultural Marxism. And it's also sometimes is used as a synonym of the woke. But cultural Marxism is very narrow. Woke, in my view, and you will see from my presentation, goes beyond cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism is part of the woke. So you could hear for the past 3 years in the political discourse, especially in media, about CRT, critical race theory. Everybody heard about it? There was a lot of debate, political clashes in different states, people fighting over this. So the left said, oh, we need it. People on the right said, we want to shut it down. Okay. But again, it's also woke. But it's part of the woke. I realized
that we need to
find
out
out
about the
spiritual
spiritual roots
of the
of
world.
the world.
And it
And
has something to do with
our spiritual situation.
our
Our
religion.
religion has something to do with Christianity.
Last but not least, it has something which I call regime
uncertainty.
It's not
It's
my
not my
expression.
expression.
Regime uncertainty was used by
libertarian economist Robert Hicks
in his
in
famous
his
article,
1997 article
about the New Deal,
where he said that
because
of the regime
uncertainty
uncertainty about
investments
investments in the United States, people were afraid to invest money, and they didn't know what might happen with that money. If they are doing anything with that money.
So,
So,
economic life was going down.
Economic crisis was prolonged by FDR.
And he used to describe the situation, but we were not sure what would happen with their money. This expression, which I borrowed this expression to talk about the LUG, the origin of the LUG, regime uncertainty. It's very important for us to keep that in mind. So, I'm going to briefly talk about the first, and then I move to the second, and then third. Basically, my argument is that the present-day explosion of the woke sentiment has something to do with these three things that are going on in the Western society, especially the Western societies, which originated from the Protestant culture. First, 2 years ago, I observed debates between Jordan Peterson. Everybody knows Jordan Peterson. And Slavoj Žižek, it's neo-Marxist, cultural Marxist from Eastern Europe. And I love lectures on Jordan Peterson. But this particular debate, to some extent, I felt sorry for Jordan Peterson. Why? Because Jordan Peterson debated this guy who was cultural Marxist, cultural Marxist. It was very much successful because Jordan Peterson used the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. Slavoj Žižek, what are you talking about? Working class, who cares about working class? You're an old-time guy, false shot. And that's how it looked, you know. I wouldn't say that Slavoj Žižek, this cultural Marxist, came out as the winner. But it was like 50-50, unfortunately, for those independent people who watch the debate without knowing what's going on. We need first to keep in mind this big difference between the old left and the new left. And the woke emerged from the new left. Briefly, classical Marx and socialism, 1850s, 1950s, was fixated on two things. The industrial working class, so-called proletariat. They were considered the salt of the earth, people who would overthrow so-called capitalism. In fact, since I consider the socialism as a surrogate religion, I call this so-called proletariat the chosen people of classical Marxism. In fact, in many respects, they replaced the biblical Jews, because according to classical Marxism socialism, the working class people were meant by history wars to come and demolish capitalism, to usher in the new world. So they would save not only themselves, but the entire humankind. That's the first thing. Second thing, classical Marxism was fixated very much on promising economic plans. So all life would be wonderful. We would have so many cars, shoes, and everything. And of course, by 1950s, everybody realized it was not only false prophecies, but in fact those societies which had prospered before so they went down. Eastern Germany, Western Germany, North Korea, South Korea. Chinese islands of capital like Hong Kong, Singapore to some extent, and mainland China. So you know. So people started to question this old left, and I put question marks. Keep in mind what was going on. In the 1950s, classical Marxism started to go down. Before it was occupying the leading position among other brands of socialism.
briefly left collective was in crisis. They were looking for the identity because there was so much leftist bureaucracy in the unions and the government.
In
Italy, for instance, many municipalities were headed by communists.
So they were looking
for their class. Who is going to be the chosen people?
Because
working class people refused to go to barricades.
They had
nice houses, they had nice lives. One of them support the Communist Party started to lose their membership, and especially after 1956 when Khrushchev and the Soviet Union started demolishing so-called cult of Stalin and Moscow, the Mecca of socialism. The authority of Moscow was demolished.
So eventually they gave up on working class.
By 1980s, they gave up on working class.
And what happened? And here I'm going to quote
Ayn Rand, Return of the Famous Critic, 1969. And it might help us to explain what was going on in their minds.
Quote, the old line Marxists used to claim that a single modern factory could produce enough shoes to provide for the whole population of the world. And that nothing but capitalism prevented it. When they discovered the facts of reality involved, they declared that going barefoot is superior to wearing shoes uncould. So one phrase, again, we don't have enough time,
so
this kind of
quotes might help us to understand what was going on
at that time. Nobody of course said, let's go there. But at least we see the trend. Away from the so-called industrial war. Away from economic debate. And that's when Marx and socialism started to lose not on economic ground. It started to lose economic arguments. They tried to avoid economic debates. Staying away from economic debates. And that's how gradually socialism, or we may say, left thought collective started to switch gradually, to culture, race, gender, idealizing non-Western society as not primitive, but as wise societies, tribal societies, that might teach Western people something wise which we can copy. So we see this idealization of non-Western societies, and there was a reason for this, because all so-called class battles that characterized the life of Europe in the 19th century stopped literally in France, in Germany, in US, Sweden. But we see plenty in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. We see plenty of revolts, agitated group of aware in the so-called third world, or as we are made to say these days, global south. So in the global south, we see a bunch of revolts against former colonial powers, national liberation movements, and China's communists were the first. They started to argue that the working class was okay, but we don't have enough working class. But we have peasants. So peasant wisdom was gradually glorified. What kind of peasant wisdom? Peasant wisdom of the third world. Tribal society. We have African socialism, Chinese socialism, Latin American friends of socialism. So from critique of capitalism, we see the gradual shift from critique of the Western civilization, cultural critique. Who is going to be the chosen for the old left? It's industrial working class. Okay. For the new left, it's a new class of people. They started to argue that it was not the industrial working class that was going to be the mover and shaker. It was going to be the third world people of color, gender minorities. These are the victims, these are the chosen people. It's very important. Unfortunately, in many Western countries, this type of mentality started to sink in the mainstream. For example, in 1977, we see that Democrats on the current debate issued this U.S. Office of Budget and Management Statistical Directive, just a regular memo, which said that for purposes of economic, social policies, we need to divide our society into these five groups. And that's how it has been done since then. Okay? So we have to keep in mind these five groups. All economic decisions, social, political decisions, for bureaucrats, government bureaucrats, driven by this mentality, ethno-racial pentagon. as I always say, it has nothing to do with the Soviet Union, but it's just the exploration Pentagon, how bureaucrats in Washington sometimes call this.
Then women were added because women on this scale of exploitation, they occupy this position because they were present in these so-called oppressed groups. Okay.
Some
mainstream left
who
stopped
being
classical Marxists, I repeat. They were not classical Marxists in the 1970s. Classical Marxists were marginalized.
Now we have cultural left,
a new left.
And they started building these pyramids of oppression. We have the pyramids of oppression where blacks at the bottom Native Americans up, not as oppressed blacks, Hispanics kind of oppressed but not as much as Native Americans, then Asians are kind of oppressed but not always because the incomes are very high. Problematic. But whites, of course, definitely oppressed. And of course they have women here. Women are present. Equally. So they started to, again, this quest, ideological quest. Who is going to be considered the most oppressed on this scale, and who is going to be the mover and shaker. Or movers and shakers. Okay. So again, gives you a way for us to remember things the best way. So that is why I picked up these pictures for you one more time to hammer out in our minds what came to be considered the new movers and shakers instead of industrial workers. At the same time, before I switch to the second theme or second topic, I would like to alert you that currently there is a vicious debate between two groups of left. And as I always tell liberty, we can use this dispute for our purposes to expose their schemes. Marginal Marxist left blame their new left cultural comrades and betraying Marxism. And there's a bunch of books published about this. For example, Notorious 1690 Project that was promoted by cultural Marxists, like nationalists. Was attacked by classical Marxist socialists who said, you betray the working class. Okay. You cannot consider these gays, women, third world as the new class. It's a betrayal of classical Marxism. There's a Trotskyite, David North, who issued the whole book where he attacked the Frankfurt School. From classical Marxist position. And they smear each other with dirt. And some classical Marxists said, how can you defend affirmative action when you might have like a rich Hispanic dad who sends his kid to some kind of University X where he uses a minority scholarship when Appalachian white kid doesn't have any mind, nobody wants to accept. That's what the classical Marxists left. Tell their cultural comrades. But unfortunately, classical Marxists, they're minorities right now. The mainstream is the world cultural identitarian left. We can use different words. For some mainstream cultural left, the woke, the way out of this conundrum was to build up so-called wheels of oppression, or what they call intersectionality, where they try to divide these five groups, remember the separation, and the small groups, and to see maybe we can find maybe we can be more precise, to identify groups within the groups. For instance, if I'm a black woman, I'm a more oppressed than black man. If I'm a black transgender woman, I might be more oppressed than black woman. So that is why we have wheels of oppression. You can see it here. Like Jordan Peterson once famously said, if you follow this logic, where do you go? You go down to an individual, human individual. So everybody is going to be oppressed. I can claim oppression. English is my second language. I might claim I'm linguistically handicapped. I also can put myself in the wheel of oppression. So we have a attempt to build this hierarchy of oppression. But again,
Of course, it has a little to do with classical Marxism, but it's still Marxism because it divides society in oppressed and oppressed.
It's the same
logic.
Some of the
woke said, we are not Marxists.
But they are
because their origin is Marxism.
Okay,
they came from this cocoon.
They don't
want to admit this.
Okay. Second
thing.
What I was talking about was
this kind of stuff that was going on in academia, especially in the Western countries.
But I realized
that
what was going on campus, despite the influence of campus life in our mainstream, despite the fact that many graduates enter professions and how they influence the minds of the people, there should be something else that opened them the doors. The woke. And this something is spiritual. Okay, making the government divine. Something was going on from my viewpoint. You might question this because again, you are more smart, I guess, in this topic here in Philip. Has something to do with what was going on in the Protestant denominations. By
1960s, 1970s, many Protestant denominations became reformed.
They lost their religious essence. Some of them even ditched the concept of unity, like Unitarian Universalist Church. It's almost secular church. I know it from within because I studied history. So Episcopal Church, they became religious. They became like social clubs. Where did it start? And here it's my, I guess, speculation. You might agree, you might disagree. It can be traced back to Second Great Awakening in New England, when some Protestant reformers, they wanted to build the kingdom of God on the earth. Okay. Why? Because they felt the salvation anxiety. Remember John Calvin's predestination. Okay. When people were predestined to be saved, at the end they were put in this desperate situation. Psychologically, it was hard to bear this burden. Okay. That's what I'm calling here salvation. How am I going to be saved? If it's predestined, I might be damned, I might be saved. The answer was very simple. Some ministers during the Second Great Awakening, they had a very simple answer that you need to do good works. Which had been originally denounced by Martin Luther. Remember, those of you who studied the Reformation, you know that the revolt of Martin Luther against the Catholic Church was that salvation could be reached only by faith. Not by good works. But here we have certain return to this concept of good works. How are you going to do these good works? Of course you have to go. Prayer meetings, but mostly by trying to reshape society, police the surrounding people, how they live their life. Okay. So we have to watch, to save them and to save ours. When we watch them we're going to eradicate sin in surrounding life. And that's what we sometimes call busybodies. Let's stand out the things from regular life. Let's get rid of it. And of course, who is going to be the institution? What is going to be the institution to do this work? The government. So more and more of these people who wanted to protect their life around themselves, they turn to the government. Dreaming about perfect government. Public schools were also set up by many denominations as the way to reform kids' minds. Okay. Walter Rauschenbusch, read about him a little bit on your own, what he was doing. He pioneered so-called movement which was named social gospel. That means we shouldn't talk too much about religion. Let's talk about improving social life, surrounding. That's how God is going to watch us. We're going to be saved. We will perfect life on the earth. And progressivism was very popular during this time, the end of 19th century, the beginning of the 1920s. And social gospel progressive movement, they actually overlapped. Okay. Social gospel people, they were still following Christ. They went to church. They believed in God. But many progressives who themselves came from the ranks of social gospel people. Many of them became secular guys. In fact,
I
I analyzed
biographies
biographies
of
of many progressives
Woodrow Wilson type
guys,
progressives.
and
And
almost
almost 90% came from the families of Protestant clergy, New England Protestant clergy. Progressives.
You might
know some of this.
You might study.
Your instructors might have told you this.
So these
So these
progressives
who
already
some of them ditched religion.
or
some of them
talked about
God
God
as
as
the
a
great
great
architect,
some
some elements of deity.
They
They
defended
not
not only the government, but they were talking about social engineering, forging goodness,
let's forge goodness.
through what?
Through what? Genetic
experiments,
experiments.
through social experiments. Let's from up above change the world because instead of religion, we have such powerful thing in our hands. What is this powerful thing? Science. Science. So, in addition to early obsession with the government, now we have obsession with science. So, scientific engineering. Okay, progressive people, especially those who go to Germany and learn from German scientists. As an example, I can use this guy, Richard Healy, like a example of this social gospel progressivism at the same time. Came from a very die-hard religious family, okay, but partially became secularized as a result of progressive, but still didn't give up on God. But look what he embraced. It's a very meaningful quotation. God works through the state in carrying out his purpose more universally than through any other institutions. So I was when I was coming on the plane, I included this quotation. I need to do it because it's very important. Okay? It gives this understanding to us what they were thinking about. Not giving up on God yet, but already here. And finally, fast forward to finalize this conversation about the second topic I outlined. Liberalism since 1930s because of social gospel progressivism. Liberalism started gradually, secular liberalism started to gradually replace religion, not for everybody, but for many, especially people who live in cities. And I repeat, two things were big for liberalism. The word liberalism itself lost its original meaning already. Acquired a new meaning that was instilled in our minds by FDR. So government and science. These were the two major teams for liberals and the present. It's still a big deal for the climate. What's the debate about climate change? How current progressives try to impose so-called science. In addition to this, we have something that was coming from South America. Both in Catholic churches across the United States and Canada, and in universities, we have in 1970s, 80s, so-called liberation theology that came from the left wing of the Catholic Church. It's an attempt to merge Christianity and Marxism, to argue that Jesus Christ was the first communist, he was poor, this type of talk. And the place was raised should be on barricades, not in pulpit. Paulo Freire, Marxist, Brazilian educator, big name here, who authored the book Pedagogy of the Abstract. Why did I highlight this book? Because to my surprise, I found out that all U.S. education departments and in Canada, all of them in their curriculum, they include this book. All of them. So see, that's how it was done. But this book, again, promotes the old Marxist notion that there are oppressed, and the role of education is not knowledge, but to change the world. That's his point. Read more about this. So, I didn't know before I started the research. I found out that his ideas tested both universities and some Catholic churches also subscribed to his ideas. And finally, okay, these two things are very important, right? Academic religion, what was called academia, that eventually became seized by. Second thing, change in spiritual life, which opened the doors of the world.
But my argument is that without the regime uncertainty, there was no way for the woke to receive some institutions. I wouldn't say that all institutions was no. There's a struggle, tug of war right now. Fortunately, we're federal, and different states respond in different ways. But what allowed the woke to make inroads is this regime uncertainty. And here we have to talk about legal measures, political measures. It's going to be a talk not about religion, not about theoretical, it's more about practical debates, practical measures. Okay. I want to refer to this book by political science teacher Hanan, The Origin of the Woke. In fact, in his book, The Origin of the Woke, he actually says, the origin of the woke is this. He didn't say regime uncertainty, but uncertain, unclear, vague legislation and bureaucratic decisions, memos. He said that's the origin of the woke. But I agree and disagree with him at the same time. I agree with him that it's a part of the woke. It did open the doors of the woke, but it's not the origin of the woke. We talked about the origins, academic cultures, spiritual changes that happened, unfortunately. So I'm using this argument he makes, making it part of my general argument about these three major things. So we are talking here about contradictory legal and executive decisions, which became widespread now in legal life and political life. And I will give you examples. Since 1970 to the present day, we have so-called the civil rights regime, and civil rights quotation marks, and you will see why. Civil rights regime that gradually, step by step, was imposed on U.S. institutions, and people were put in a straitjacket. There is no way out in this case. Let me give you an example of vague contradictory notions. Example is the best way. Everybody heard about the famous Bucky decision by University versus Bucky. Who heard about it? Who will tell us? Okay, tell us about it. Briefly, describe Bucky decision. What was it all about?
Okay, I don't really remember what happened in it, but I have heard of it.
Okay, you heard about it. Who knows a little bit more about Bucky decision? Describe to us. Okay,
Is it just affirmative action?
Yes,
like,
yes.
it's like allowed?
Go ahead.
Yeah, like you can discriminate based on race and like need for schools, right? I mean, that's why I know about it. Right?
Yeah, okay. It has something to do with affirmative action. It's actually clear from
Right, yeah.
It's about the guy, middle-aged guy, 30 plus something, washed guy who tried to get enrolled at the University of California, one of the branches in California, and he was basically one was not allowed to get in, although his grades were high, medical, he wanted to get medical, but the University of California, in this, gosh, I forgot, Davis, imposed certain set-aside spots only for minorities to admit them with low scores. And he couldn't get in, although from high school he dreamed about becoming a doctor. It was his dream job. He saved money, he worked as an engineer, different types of jobs, he served in the army in order to save money. And he said, hey, I'm going to sue them. He sued them in 1978. Again, I'm moving fast forward. I don't want to spend so much time. Basically, he won. Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court said, yes, Bucky had to get in because he has the highest score. He was admitted. At the same time, look, the same Supreme Court said, quotas are wrong. Okay, you should, but the race should be considered in the admission process. It's kind of solemn decision. So you shouldn't have affirmative action. At the same time, you should have affirmative action. See, that's the example. Okay, and a lot of these laws which have been adopted since that time, they have this contradictory nature. Or some of the laws actually go further. They say that like there was a Supreme Court decision called Weber, it's at the end of 1980, you know, check the year. Weber. He actually said that civil rights law 1964, that's when was adopted. It didn't mean to cover all the people. Okay. He tried to sue his company because he was passed over several times during the promotion process when minority people were promoted. So he sued them, and the decision was even worse than this, than Buckingham, because this Weber said that the guy didn't read carefully the civil rights law. He didn't catch the spirit of the civil rights law. The spirit of the civil rights law meant to protect minorities. It didn't mean to cover some kind of white people. They didn't say it, but they kind of hinted. It's a very bizarre decision. So a bunch of these laws and political measures which put companies, businesses, education institutions in a very precarious situation when people started to worry, what are we going to do? And the bureaucrats who deal with the situation, they prefer a simple solution. I need to run ahead of the train to make sure that I'm on the same ground. You know? That's what in late Soviet Union some bureaucrats did. When some workers complained because industrial workers were considered the salt of the earth, the most oppressed and the most best people, chosen people. So when workers complained about something, the communist bureaucrats said, oh, let's do something. Otherwise, they might take us to court, or I might be excluded from Communist Party. I might be ostracized because I'm going against this. The class, protect the class of people. The same logic is here. I would rather, if I make a mistake, I would rather make a mistake in favor of the most oppressed people instead of other mistakes. Because I might be penalized. Otherwise, I might be penalized. I would rather do this. So that's how we have this regime, unfortunately. So we have a lot of bad incentives sent to businesses, universities, state and federal institutions to run ahead of diversity trade, be on the good side of history. Okay. And the worst case in this case was Civil Rights Act of 1999 that talked about disparate impact. So kind of indirect impact. Even the Act said, even when people didn't mean discrimination, but the result was discriminatory, they should be held responsible for it. It's a very dangerous situation. A lot of lawsuits, discrimination-related suits were related to this act. Because it didn't mean discrimination, but it turned out to be a discriminatory measure. For example, if I'm a boss in a company X, and I decided to impose these requirements. So you need to have a high school diploma, and you need to take a professional test. Just a common sense measure. But as a result of these common sense measures, we see that we have a few minority people. So it means you are in this boat, okay? You discriminate against them. It's a very dangerous situation. Very dangerous. The road to frivolous lawsuits. Okay. Unfortunately, both Republicans and Democrats, from my research, I found out that both Republicans and Democrats, they participated in this. Look, Richard Nixon. In fact, Christopher Rufo, conservative journalist, I loved his article. At some point, he glorified Nixon something wrote that we need to cherish Nixon. What are you going to cherish? He gave us affirmative action. He continued what LBJ started in 1960. Because Nixon wanted to use it for political purposes. He introduced affirmative action employment and federal contract law, trying to draw blacks to his side. But it didn't happen. But that was his hope. He wanted to draw them to his side. He even started to talk about black capital. Nixon. Here's the book. It's not my speculation. There's a book about written not by some right-wing hack, but a regular conventional liberal sociologist. Okay, you can read what I'm trying to explain here. So when you have this vague measures, vague legal decisions, what are you going to have? A bunch of bureaucrats who are going to explain to you what you need to do. That is why we're here, so-called DEI. DEI complex. By now we have a huge bureaucracy. Before COVID, before everything, the amount companies spend about $8 billion for diversity and inclusion. Now, I'm sorry, it's 2003. And 2022, it's 9.4 billion. It's a lot of money, multi-billion industry. So we have association of diversity workers. It became entrenched bureaucracy. Okay, that's what we have to deal with because they interpret the unclear vague law and regulate diversity. And that's what allowed the woke people to get in and eventually like all bureaucracy acquired life of its own, and now they're looking for races everywhere. Let's find races, because otherwise there would be no job market. Like in this article which I mentioned, in the beginning, I provide examples, conventional academic journals to show them what woke is all about. In Indiana University campus, student was reading a book against Klan, something about how they fought against Klan, about some Irish activists who were fighting against Klan in 1980s. And some co-workers saw him reading this book and he complained to the DEI office. And the rumor spread that this guy was a student at the same time, he was a custodian. He was reading racist books on campus. And the whole scandal was created out of nothing. He had to explain for many months that, I read the book, it was a good book. It was not a racist book. It was a book about exposing KKK, how it treated the Irish Catholics in Iowa, state of Iowa. So it took him about 6 months to get out. But during this time, DEI had a job to do. But what amazed me more, and here I see some kind of religious notion of the woke. The guy was actually exonerated himself because he was helped a fund for individual rights organizations and defense monitors this type of cases. He actually, the way he tried to exonerate himself. Listen to me, my former girlfriend was black. My former girlfriend was black. He kept repeating, my goodness, what are you talking about? So essentially, I don't want to exhaust your patience. Essentially, we have to ask ourselves a simple question. Are we going to treat each other as human individuals or members of tribes? Thank you for your attention.